is not a new concept. History has shown us the experiences of the historic voices and martyrs. Have you been struggling with pain in the past? Do you need help with dealing with things that are holding you back from achieving all that you want in life? Tune in to My Pain, Your Gain, hosted by Pastor Arthur Williams. This show is designed to help the next generation accomplish the goals they've set out to attain through practical conversations. Join in and find how to turn prior pain into glorious gain.
Good morning. What's up, family? This is your boy, Pastor Art, again, back with you. Thank you for everyone and your birthday wishes on last week. I am honored for everybody that text me, emailed me, D-mailed me, or whatever, DM me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for last week of tuning in. Also, every week for our episodes. Again, here we are again this week. I hope everybody enjoyed your 4th of July. I definitely did. I definitely enjoyed my family. Got a chance to spend time with family. I hope you experienced your family and had a great time with whatever you did. Today, man, this is another hot topic. I really want to talk about. I was really wrestling what we want to talk about and discuss today. And so from another episode of My Pain, Your Gain, I hope you gain something from this show. Remember to share, like, heart, comment. Next week, I have an amazing guest that I'm bringing on. And so I hope you all tune in again for next week. I'm not going to call his name, but you got to tune in. But he's a very special young man in my life. And so I'm grateful. Again, I want to give homage to my dear friend and brother, Bishop Zemekio Jackson, for the opportunity to share on this page, on this Inspired Network. Listen, this is a great platform to share your vision with. This is a great platform for you to talk, discuss, have conversation about anything that you want to conversate about. There's no limits to Inspired Network right here at Bishop Jackson's building. Listen, this is an amazing studio, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Today, I've been wrestling and all week long and about time. I've been wrestling about time. And growing up, we always think that we have time. My good friend Bishop Jackson expressed to me when I was coming up in ministry, I would come and spend time with him. And one of the conversations we used to have, he would say, man, don't never lose your passion for preaching. Do not ever lose your passion. And that basically suggested to me, do not get involved with the money aspect of it. Don't get focused on the money coming in, but enjoy the time that you have in preaching. And so I love preaching, but today I want to discuss time. A lot of times when we're young, we're coming out of school, high school, coming up through high school, we think we have time. Well, I want to discuss today that time is not promised to any one of us, to be honest with you. Family, really, time is not really promised to any one of us. I remember at 18, man, I thought, man, I got time to do what I want to do. I got time to chill. I got time to just have fun. But in actuality, I didn't. I didn't have all the time that I thought I had. And so my thought process in this life on today, my thought process is to use my time wisely, because tomorrow is not promised. Something very intriguing happened to me this week. I was walking out of my apartment, went to the store, came back up, and one of my neighbors, you have to be careful how you walk. You have to be careful how you move, because people are watching you whether you believe it or not. I remember when Paul and Silas was locked in a Philippian jail, and while they were locked in a Philippian jail, the text says that the prisoners were listening. The prisoners were watching them to look how they would respond to their situation. So as I'm walking up to my apartment, there was a young man that I see every day. He speaks to me every day. He talks to me every day. And he's a very nice young man. And so he asked me a question. He said, neighbor, now we really not neighborly anymore. We don't really talk to our neighbors. We really stay to ourselves. But in my environment that I'm in now, our neighbors speak, they talk, they have conversation. And so as I'm walking up the steps, this young man, he's only 23 years old. He runs me down. He says, "Hey, neighbor, can I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Man, you look like you real deep and heavy in the church, man. I see you leave and you have your kids, and I see you very involved in church." And he said, "Man, I'm just coming to my life where I want to develop a relationship with God." And so I began to talk with him, and he began to share his life story. He began to share his vision. And with me being me, I just began to talk to him. I was just like, "Hey, man, anytime you want to have a conversation, just come talk to me." And he asked me, he said, "What is your favorite scripture?" And I said, "The race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that can endure to the very end." That has become my favorite scripture, because it doesn't matter how fast you start the race, but it does matter how you finish. And one of my pet peeves that I live by every day as I grow and develop every day, listen, I have not made it to where I really want to be. I'm striving to get there, but there were some decisions and some choices that I made in my past that kind of detoured me from reaching my destiny faster than I should have, or expeditiously. So as I began to speak with this young man, I began to tell him about writing your vision out, making it plain, writing your goals out, making it plain, and then being in an environment to where you can excel. Being in an environment, meaning everything in my environment must change. The people that I hang with must change, because everybody that's in your environment are not seeking the same success that you are. And so I expressed to him the environment that I'm in. I expressed to him the people, the company that I keep. And so then I began to expose some of my friends and their businesses and their entrepreneurship. And that's what he began to talk about, was entrepreneurship. He wanted to start his own mechanic shop. He has a gift of that. And I said, "You know what? When you're sitting there, you're thinking that you have time. Right now is the time to begin the process. Because once you begin the process of connectivity, then guess what? The skies are the limit for you." And so I began to share with him, being in the company of successful people will change the narrative in your life. Family, I felt so good. Man, listen, I felt great, because not only did he thought enough for me to talk to me and discuss things with me, but he felt comfortable around me because I didn't just throw God on him. I began to talk about life and life decisions. And right at that moment, I understood my assignment in this season. I understood that my assignment in this season, man, is to help this generation get to the level that they really need to be. Not based upon, based upon my experiences, based upon what I've developed and the things that I've gone through and where I am now. Listen, I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about where I am. But I thank God for the reflection in the mirror. I thank God for the rearview mirror, to where I can look back and think where I was a few years ago. I'm not where I want to be, but listen, family, I'm grateful that I am where I am right now, because now I'm at a stage in my life to where I can sit and listen. A lot of times we do a lot of talking, but we don't do a lot of listening. And I began, as I was speaking with this young man, I began to think about time. At 21 years old, did I ever think that I would lose one of my best friends? When I thought about time, I thought about my brother, Brett Brown, 21 years old, but the legacy that he left. His life left a legacy. Me and Alvin talked about it a couple of weeks ago. His life left a legacy. When we talk about legacy, he left a legacy that changed an entire generation. Why does it have to get to a point to where life has to be taken for us to wake up? But sometimes we don't know why God does certain things, but God chooses certain people for certain assignments. And in this season, in that season of in our lives, we were nuts, man. We were crazy. And think that I survived that. It was nothing but the grace of God that I survived it. And then when I think about time, I think about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was only 39 when he left this earth, but he left a legacy. He understood his time while he was here. He understood the assignment on his life while he was here. He understood not to worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will handle and take care of itself. But he prepped himself. He prepared himself for greater. He prepared himself for the unexpected end. Even though he knew his end was coming, it was unexpected to us, but he knew his expected end. He knew his assignment while he was here. Time is of an essence. And while we're sitting around thinking that we have time, there's 24 hours in a day that we could be doing something, striving to be great, striving to be successful, and not complaining about what you may be experiencing in your life. I understand life may hit you, throw some jabs, throw some punches in your face, but listen, you have time. You don't have the time that you think you have. Time is of an essence. And what you put in that time and what you put in that hour, what you put in those 24 hours is what could identify your life to people. So Martin Luther King, 39 years old, but look at the civil rights movement. Look at the things that he was able to accomplish in those 39 years. He left the grave. He went to the grave and disappointed the grave because he left everything here. He left his legacy. Malcolm X, 39 years old, assassinated for fighting for the rights of this community, fighting for the rights for us to have rights. Listen, what's going on in our world today, we don't have time. We must pull together. Stop being the crab at the bottom of the barrel and help push one another up. Why are we hating on each other when we should be celebrating one another? Why am I going to hate on Alvin Hodge because he's successful with Never Forget Clothing? Why am I going to hate on Dwayne Brown because he's successful? I call him my brother, but again, I'm hating on him because he's successful with his beard company. He's successful with his job. Why should I hate on James Jairus Sampson because of the success he has in preaching? No, I should celebrate him. There was something that James B. Sampson, his father, suggested to us when we were coming up in the ministry, when we was young in ministry. He was like, he said, sons, listen to me. Don't despise each other's gifts. Each and every one of you have a special gift. Learn how to celebrate each other's gift. A lot of times in our life, we listen, let's be real. This is what this show is about, My Pain, Your Gain. This is what it's all about. Being real and keeping it real. The time that I spend hating or pulling down my brother or not celebrating them, that could be time used to celebrate them and get close to them and receive the residue from their success. Learn and grasp from their success. I spend time with Bishop Zemekiel Jackson because he's successful. Listen, connect to those people that you know can help take you to the next level. Yeah. Why should I hate on James Franklin Smith, who's a successful business owner operating in youth ministry at the same time running Would You Frames? It's not my job to hate on anybody. I have to use the time that I have to be successful. Tupac Shakur, 25 years old, his life was taken. Biggie Smalls, his life was taken at 24. The media built up this hate between two coasts, West Coast and the East Coast, against one another. These two brothers were friends, but they end up being compatible against each other. They end up being enemies rather than celebrating each other. Two great minds gone too soon. There was two different scenarios. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, assassinated because they were trying to protect our rich history. They were trying to protect, fighting for justice, fighting for equality. Now watch this. Rather than fighting for equality, we should be fighting for equity. Why should I want to be like them when I should want to get to the level to where I own my own things? I celebrate people like Hot T, who runs his flooring company. I celebrate people like Michael Myrick, who are classmates to me, who runs his own microservices that places cameras and TVs in their house, in people's houses. Success. So why should I hate when God has given me the same time that he's given them? Aaliyah, 22, successful career, gone too soon. Nipsey Hussle, 33 years old, trying to build his community, trying to bring his community together. And it was a community that took him out. Why are we continuously biting the hand that feed us? Why are we continuously killing the well that draws the water? Let's learn how to love each other in this season. But we're too busy killing each other and taking each other out. The music that we're listening to, the things that we connect to. If we connect to negativity, that's what we'll wake up to, is negativity. I want to introduce positivity to us. Positivity, fighting for each other, not against one another, not causing a divide amongst one another. I'm learning the lesson of listening. I want to be clear. I'm learning the lesson of listening rather than talking too much. Talking too much will cause you to miss great opportunity. Speaking too much will cause you to miss your destiny. Trayvon Martin, 17 years old. Emmett Till, 14. Gone too soon, taken from us, taken from his family, taken from his parents at a young age, both young men. Trayvon Martin killed because he wore a hoodie and because he was walking in a neighborhood that they thought he shouldn't be walking in, and the killer is walking free. It's time for us to wake up. What I've discovered with us is that, I may sound like I'm angry. I may sound like I'm aggressive this morning, because I really am, because I'm fed up with every time I turn on Facebook or every time I look at the news. We're repeatedly saying, rest in peace. It is becoming a repetitive narrative in our community. I'm tired of it. You should be tired of it. All of this is not the decisions that our young people are making. It's the foundation that we're built upon. Trayvon Martin found himself in a bad situation, moving up to his dad's house to start a life over again. And he's dead. He's deceased right now. Emmett Till, going down to visit his great-grandfather, taken away. That image is still stuck in my head, to where his mother had the bravery in those times to fight for the corpse of her son when they tried to bury him before she saw him. He was drugged behind a pickup truck, shot in his head, to the point to where his mother could see from one side to the other. His face was disfigured. And we walk around here like we've made it. We're still in a fight. We're still in a struggle. Emmett Till gone too soon, 14 years old. The disfigured face still bothers me. And then we come to some recent rappers that's gone. King Von and Young Dolph. King Von, 26. Young Dolph, 36. They were the water. They were the water that brought life to their communities. No one knows why the situation happened. No one knows why they're not here. I'm not here to discuss that. I'm here to discuss and talk about time. Use your time wisely. Young people, young generation, when you think you have time, listen, I just turned 40 last week. Time has passed me by. Time is here, like 40 years old. I never, I talked to my mama, y'all. Let me trip y'all out for a minute. I called my mama, I sent her a picture. I said, boy, out of everything I've been through, out of things I've experienced in my life, boy, I look good for 40. And my mama said, boy, you ain't 40. Time has passed by her so much, man, to where my dad said, yeah, it is 2022. Yeah, he 40. Listen, I'm grateful for the life experiences that I had. I'm grateful that I made it this far, but it ain't over. Because when I leave here, I want to disappoint the grave. I want to be to the point to where I touch somebody's life throughout my lifetime. It starts with my family. It starts with my children, leaving a legacy. It starts with the woman in my life, leaving a legacy. I never thought I would find love or be in love again. But God placed someone in my life. Everyone does not get a second chance. Everyone does not get another chance. Here is your other chance. When you listen to this podcast today, when you listen to My Pain, Your Gain, I want you all today, if you never share another video, share it with some young person. Because they're walking around like zombies, like life doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter to them because they're taking each other's lives like it's nothing. The reality is that time will pass us. And one day we'll look up and say, what did I do with my time? Martin Luther King Jr. can say, I did a lot with my time. Malcolm X said, I did a lot with our time. Nipsey Hussle, 33 years old, did a lot with his time. Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls did a lot with their time. But what legacy will you leave? What are you waiting for? The time is now. I was able to help that young man the other day and present myself to him, an open book like somebody did for me. I'm grateful for a James B. Sampson who opened his heart to me. Dr. Matt King Carter, who opened his life to me, who taught me about you can't preach over sin. Dr. Zamekio Jackson, who poured into me, who gave me my first platform as a young man. I look back at that video to remind myself of where I started and where I am now. If I would have never got that opportunity, if I would never sat down with him, I would have never understood the art of preaching, the art of breaking down the text, the art of understanding lifestyle. He spoke to me years ago and told me, Art, you're not going to be able to do what other preachers did. Guess what, y'all? I didn't listen. I still did what I wanted to do. But God gave me another chance to come back to this same platform almost 20 years ago, Jesus. And here I am on the same platform, the same person that gave me an opportunity is giving me another opportunity to share my pain, to help you get to the level to where God really wants you to be. I'm honored for this opportunity to be able to talk to you today, to be able to have a conversation, have a discussion. This is a new world for me, but I had to walk into it. Stop being scared when the opportunity presents yourself. When the opportunity comes your way, take it. Walk in it. Don't worry about what critics will say. I was talking with a buddy of mine yesterday, and he said, boy, you know them boys talking about you. You exposing us. You exposing us, and everybody ain't not going to get it. I hope you get it. I'm not exposing the ministry. I'm not exposing the preacher. I'm not selling out the preacher. What I'm suggesting is that mentorship about lifestyle was not available. My life should have aligned up with what I preached about. Am I going to be perfect? No. Am I going to make mistakes? Yes. Am I an imperfect vessel? Yes. But it does not mean that I should take advantage of grace, that I should take advantage of mercy. I challenge you today, family. I challenge you, my Pain Your Game family. I challenge you. This is where the real keeps it real. We're going to continue to keep it real. Every episode is going to be different, but it's still going to have the same narrative. Bringing out the best by exposing my pain, exposing the experience that the experiences that I've had in my life. Every experience that I had in my life and that I went through was not designed by God. It was because of the choices that I made. There's somebody listening to me today. You're questioning your Christianity. You're questioning your relationship. Listen, Christianity is about relationship. It's not about religion. It's about developing your own relationship with God. The Bible says, as I close this thing today, seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all else will be added unto you. I love you, family. This is where the real keeps it real. Comment, share, like this post, like this podcast, enjoy it. Become a partner with us. It's about us getting to the next level. Time is important. What are you going to do with your time? God bless you. Grace and peace. See y'all next week.
Overcoming is not a new concept. History has shown us the experiences of the historic voices and martyrs. Have you been struggling with pain in the past? Do you need help dealing with things that are holding you back from achieving all that you want in life? Tune in to My Pain, Your Gain, hosted by Pastor Arthur Williams. This show is designed to help the next generation accomplish the goals they've set out to attain through practical conversations. Join in and find how to turn prior pain into glorious gain.
Do you have a business or product? Are you looking to advertise, maybe to get the word out to thousands of people on a daily? You should consider the Inspired Network. We have affordable packages that can assist you at getting the word out about your product or business. Call us today at 866-804-6774.
Your financial support keeps the ministry alive. You can be a blessing. by sewing via Cash App today at $TeachJax, or you can text to give at 833-481-1524 and text the word GIVE.
So you've been watching the show. Would you like to be a content provider yourself and develop a show for the Inspire Network? Please give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or go to www.connecttv.info to submit a show idea.
Have a praise report or a testimony of how any of the programming at the Inspired Network has been a blessing to you? Please go to www.myprayerrequest.info. Click on the tab Testimony and submit it today. The IPC prayer team would love to know how effective the ministry is being to you.
Do you love video production? Would you like to have a career in video production but don't know where to start? Your problem is you have no one to teach you. Well, the Inspired Television Network is initiating its apprenticeship program. We'll teach you video production, how to set up the simple camera operation, post-production, and advanced editing. Imagine sitting down with an expert and being taught weekly how to do it. It's a 6-month program that requires a minimum of 10 hours a week of hands-on training and 3 hours a week of classroom training. You've always wanted to make movies or learn production. This is the perfect program for you. Give us a call today at 904-389-5592 or sign up at www.learntv.today. It's free for churches and nonprofits.
Do you need a morning prayer line? A place you can call to hear from God? Call the International Prayer Council Intercessory Prayer Line, Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 904-299-7.